inning starts, okay, Ishan Kishan doesn't come out. So I get to know Ishan Kishan is injured. So commentator बात कर रहे हैं उसकी आंख में लगी and all that. So I don't know. फिर एक रिप्ले आया. Now how does Ishan Kishan get injured? Okay, so Jordan being Jordan
Hmm.
must have got hit in one over. I think it
Hmm.
must be the sixth over
Hmm.
because Gill took off in that over. So Jordan is standing in the pitch and you're changing sides. Over khatam ho gaya. So Ishan is here, Jordan is here. Okay? And Jordan is just he's standing like this, literally
Hmm.
standing like this and walking straight. So this is Jordan. Jordan is walking like this. This is Kishan. You're changing ends. So this is how they go.
Huh.
Jordan's left elbow barges into Kishan's eye
I
like that. And obviously, imagine, right? It just hits
I
your
know,
even if you're
obviously,
not
obviously,
even
yeah.
if you're not running, it just barges. And I'm like, this guy is such an idiot. I mean, why are you? I mean, he's injured his own player. Like, first you give 56 runs, that's one thing. Then you injure the opener.
Any
Fine.
predictions for a super over this time?
No, it hasn't happened for 3 years. I think the commentators keep, getting
Is it?
crazy about it.
Oh
हाँ,
my
it's been two,
god.
3 overs. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Akash Chopra. Hindi में तो it's even way crazier. And then in English also, Kevin Peterson and Simon Dewell are like super over. And no, we don't want that because then it gets really late for everybody. I guess nobody
I
wants a
know.
super over. But that would actually be the worthy end. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
if this prediction comes true, some people might come after us because they might just suspect we know something which we should know.
Guys,
So
we have
let's
no insider news, okay?
yeah, yeah.
Hello all and welcome to a new video on the Third Man Musings. So what an exciting last week it's been. We have had the qualifier 1 eliminator, the qualifier 2, and now we are heading to the biggest match of them all, the grand final. So we'll be discussing all those three matches. We had some very good matches with high octane action. So we'll be discussing those three matches and we'll be looking ahead and previewing the big final. So a lot of exciting things to discuss on today's podcast.
So we'll start with the first match, which was CSK GT, and I think when we were previewing this match, we both said this might be the possible final, which happened, and I think it's the just result because these two were the top two teams in the entire league, going over the whole span of matches. So happy to have that final. Coming to the first leg, so first leg was in Chepauk, so I think that kind of nullified the advantage that GT had with the strong batting. So the gap between the two teams was kind of reduced, and the CSK batted first as expected, or they were put in. Okay. GT won the toss and they put CSK in, is what
Yeah,
I
they put
remember.
CSK. Yeah.
But I think that suits Dhoni, especially in Chepauk. And it was a slow pitch, and the starting 8-9 overs were again the template that CSK have is the openers will play a longish game, and then everybody starts contributing in the middle order with small innings of 20 of 10 or something. So they did that well. I think Ruturaj played very well. Got lucky with that no ball catch from the debutant, I think Nalkande. So that was a lucky break for him. Otherwise, very good innings. But Conway was struggling. I think that was one of the strange things. I didn't expect Devon Conway to struggle. He was been their best batter this season, having the maximum runs. So I think the total was okay. Sujay, you think? I think that was less actually when the first inning ended. I think it was a bit on the lesser side. You think it was apt, or you thought they were short by 10, 15
Uh,
runs?
um, I think they got a sort of in between score, right? I mean, ideally they would have, I'm sure, looked for 180 plus, considering Gill
Mm.
was in the opposite ranks. But I think Chepauk, as we have seen, as time progresses, it comes back to its true nature, which is the
Mm.
ball does grip and turn, right? You saw some balls from Jadeja really,
Oh,
turn square, right? So I think at the halfway break, Dhoni being the genius that he is, I think he would have figured that 170, if not a match winning score, at least would have been a very challenging score. And it was then the matter of getting Gill out, and then they would have had the upper hand. And once Dhoni has his army of spinners, he will control the game, right, in the middle overs. So yeah, ideally, to answer your question, ideally they would have liked more, but I think at the halfway point they would have definitely considered that they got a very challenging score.
and that's what with the spinners in and the way the pitch played. And when Jadeja turned that one ball square of the pitch, and Gill was ready to like pull him, and that just turned
Right.
that side, and he was like,
Yeah.
"What happened?" But Jadeja doesn't spin that ball, right? When Jadeja spins the ball, means the pitch has a lot of spin. So Thikshana became effective, and I think Gill still looked $1 million. He was looking the part, and if
He was.
he didn't look uncomfortable at all. It's just that he got out when he was trying to up the run rate. Others struggled. But then the genius guy, the, the helicopter guy, Rashid Khan came, and I just don't understand how this guy scores runs because he has got such a called the lapeda, right? When he used to play bachpan mein, so lapeda technique, he just swipes and does weird broom shots, and it works on every pitch. The shocking thing is, no matter what the pitch, what the bowler, his timing is so good, he manages to hit the middle. So he got that match close. Otherwise, CSK were very ahead in the match, and I think uh, the capping moment was that dismissal of Rashid from Deshpande of all people. So it's like this guy swiping everywhere, left, right, center. No, Deshpande was on the off stump Yorker, and Dhoni has given him a field that I'll put तीन चार लोग तुम्हारे उस off side पे मार लो जो मारना है. And Rashid hit that so well, just a few inches here there, it would have been four or possibly a flat six, but the fielder was right there where it was needed, and he got the catch, and the match got over there and then. So it was purely, I think, the tactical genius of Dhoni in that match, just managing those bowling resources, and he's just discovered this Patirana kid, like 21, 22 bowls with a way weirder action than Malinga, very difficult to pick up. Thikshana has come into the party, and this faith that Dhoni has, right? Because I think we kept talking about Santner. I think you also
True,
brought
true.
up at one of the points
Yeah.
that Santner should come in, better batter. He was bowling so well, but something about Dhoni having this stubbornness. I remember we used to discuss this when he was Test match captain, and India used to field all day, and 400 run ban gaye, and he's still bowling all day. And like Dhoni is stubborn, but normally it works out. So this time it worked out with this Thikshana gamble. I was
I
pretty
know.
like he looked pretty good.
The
Go
bowling is
on.
really coming together, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
now Deepak Chahar after injury has really,
Looks
I mean,
better.
that is surprising that he's looking even more lethal than before. He's taking wickets. Deshpande is taking wickets. Jadeja and Tikshana are falling. I mean, forming that lethal combo in the middle. And Patirana has just become the game changer, right, in the death. So that bowling is really holding CSK's fortunes. And as you said, every match Conway and Gaikwad are setting the base, and then the middle order comes in and churns those quick innings, right? And
Yeah.
Jaddu also is suddenly looking good in the finishing. So I feel, even though maybe Dubey might have slightly, gone off the boil in the last few matches, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a dangerous player. And in the final, if he comes good again
Uh,
against, let's
on
say,
that
if he
pitch.
comes good against Rashid and Noor again, then that will be very interesting to watch. But CSK is looking much more well-rounded now, and to add Dhoni's tactical acumen, they become a
Yes.
very potent side in the playoffs.
Just to cap it, their bowler having the maximum wickets is Tushar Deshpande this season, 21 wickets in the race for the purple cap. So, and that's really like shocking. Because the economy rate, average economy rate is above 10, by the way. So that is a very rare combination where your top bowler is going 10 plus, but he's getting the wickets. So he's got other bowlers who are pulling a 10, and Deshpande is getting hit left, right, center, but he gets you that wicket which is required to control the
Right.
matches. So good match. I mean, GT made a match of it, although they had lost way before. Those
Hmm.
Rashid antics, and because it's GT, I think we always keep thinking, kuch ho jayega end mein, and they'll manage some magic. But that pitch was too much for them, I believe, and that's when we preview the final. It'll be better competition. Next one was the MI versus LSG, our favorite match in terms of. I think you were supporting MI for once, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure, for sure. Being an
so-
RCB fan, obviously, you wouldn't support LSG. And actually, more than that, I think MI was definitely the better side on paper as well and in the field. So, as a cricket lover, I think you definitely want the better equipped side to usually come out and win. And MI just showed that, right? I mean,
it was
the batting, everything clicked. Surya, Green,
Tilak.
Tilak Verma back from injury.
Hmm,
I mean, Rohit and Kishan again, I think, got a little bit of a start, but again, the familiar pattern which you have seen,
not converting.
Mumbai
Hmm,
invariably stew down very quickly, right? So,
yeah,
but then the bowling, right? Madhwal was brilliant with his FIFA, and Barendorf, even though has not been much amongst the wickets, but he's keeping things tight. Chavla and Kartikeya are holding the fort in the
middle
middle in
overs.
terms of bowling. But definitely the Achilles heel for them, I think, was Chris Jordan, right? And
We'll
now I
discuss.
leave the forum open to you for
I'll,
venting.
I'll I'll discuss it more in the next match because that's when
Yeah,
I think it went over my tipping point. But yeah,
right.
I'll come to the next match about what Jordan did. So
True.
just to round up Mumbai's batting, it was And the ending by Vadera, that impact sub was very smart, I believe, because they
True.
sacrificed Surya. They didn't get an extra bowler because they had five bowlers in the lineup plus Green. So they took that gamble, and that gamble worked. Gave him those extra 20-25 runs, which put that pressure on their pitch. I mean, we don't like him for obvious reasons, but he bowled well. I'll give that to
Hmm.
him, and that was his sort of pitch, the Chepauk
True.
pitch.
He brought
So
the match
he,
back in the balance. Green and Tilak, right? He removed them,
like,
in a short
and
space of time and brought. Sorry, Surya and the Green.
Surya with the slow ball, yeah,
Yeah,
on
correct,
long
correct.
off,
Yeah.
and then you had Yash Thakur bowling well again in the death. The only thing, funny thing, and this goes in the batting also, is the captain. So this weird fascination he has that I will do everything. Now, normally people start with spinners when you have foreign openers, or maybe a Kohli even, because there's this apparent weakness. But people like Rohit actually is still a very good player of spin. I'll still maintain that
Hmm.
rather than pace bowlers. With all his fitness issues, he's a good player against spin still. So you start with Krunal Pandya and Krishnappa Gautam. It's a Chepauk pitch, I understand, but these guys are uncomfortable against good pace bowlers. And you had Yash Thakur, you had Mohsin Khan, to be precise. Now, Mohsin Khan could be used initially with his speed, and maybe he gets that. And he's a left armer. Rohit doesn't like left armers, so
True.
I don't know this fascination Kronal Pandey has कि मैं ही सब करूंगा, and he reminded me of that kid we used to have every group when we used to play cricket बचपन में, कि he used to get his bat and ball, and मैं batting पहले करूंगा, मैं bowling पहले करूंगा, and he was like of no use, but you had to play him because he had the equipment. So Krunal Pandya has something here. He's the captain. I think that's the equipment he has. So he he's opening the batting. He's coming at three, and he's not a three. He's a good 5 or 6 maximum. I'll give him.
Like what
He's
he
the
used to do in Mumbai, right?
MI. He used to
Hmm.
float up when the collapse was there. Otherwise, he
Correct,
was number 7. I remember,
correct.
and he used to do a decent job. So poor Ayush Badoni, who's genuinely one of the good Indian batsmen they have, he never got a chance. Even though whenever he batted at three, he got them that in that CSK match. I still remember he got that 50 odd, and LSG were 120 for 7. It rained out,
Correct,
so they that one extra point saved their life in this IPL,
correct,
I believe.
correct.
So that guy should be given more chances, but somehow Krunal Pandey promotes himself at three. Huda justifiably played at 7, but Huda being Huda, he got Stoneys out. The one ray of hope they had to win that match. And it was a mega collapse after that. I mean, the runouts that were happening, I really would love to see what Gambhir did to them after that in
Correct.
the dressing room. कि चल क्या रहा है यहाँ पे तो कर क्या रहे हो go
I
on.
think they mentally disintegrated after Madhwal got both
Puran,
Puran and
good point.
yeah, Puran was gone
Puran
first
Badoni.
ball, right? Yeah,
Puran was
I
second and
think yeah,
Badoni came.
Badoni and Puran, once they fell off consecutive balls, I think they mentally disintegrated at that point, and that's when you saw all these runouts coming in. But Stoinis, credit to him. I mean, he was looking very good that
Very
day.
good.
He was, especially he was playing the spinners very well, which was impressive.
He plays spinners better than our Indian batters, which is very
Mm-hmm.
sad. I don't know how that happened suddenly.
Correct.
So much exposure maybe made them better batters of spin. So yeah, deservedly, I think LSG would not have grabbed eyeballs also. So I think TRP wise it works. So maybe the script helps sometimes, I guess. So coming to the next one, which was the MI versus GT. Now this one had a lot of interest for multiple reasons. Now here, that's the question. GT being GT, Gujarat team, and MI being whoever's team. Okay, so you are like thinking final में कौन जाएगा, कैसी setting होनी चाहिए, and who should I, and we know who's the better team. I'll be honest about it. I know GT is the way better team. So, but MI won the toss and they decided to chase. So I became
Which
hopeful
is their
कि
forte, yeah.
yeah कि ठीक है 2-10 तो बना लेंगे, मतलब normal है. We have the batsman, right? Then this guy decides to wake up again. Now, it's a very shocking thing that Gale in the orange cap race was very behind. I remember, not
Hmm.
very behind, they fairly behind. Like it was between Yashasvi and Faf for
Faf,
the
right.
longest time. But suddenly this guy woke up, and now this thing is he's hit 3 centuries in the last 4 T20 innings, which is the next level, like god level form he has, right? And the way he batted, that was like that changed me also, in the sense I'm like looking, I'm like, okay, this guy is like operating at a different tangent, and it doesn't matter who's bowling. Piyush Chawla, who has been the best bowler, Akash Madwal, who was their best bowler in the last match, nothing mattered to him. So credit to him. I think that innings left me spellbound. Did you? Do you think it was like the best innings in this IPL? I mean, I've seen Yashasvi's 120 also against MI. I've seen some good
Correct,
hundreds, but this
correct.
one like looked something else. It looked like he would beat Gale's 170 also if he stayed. So
True.
yeah.
I mean, not only this IPL, I think if you see the history of IPL also, it has to rank within one. I mean, not if not the best, at least within the top, let's say, five innings
Hmm.
ever,
Yeah,
right?
huh.
I mean,
Uh,
and MI tried everything against him. They tried bowling short, he kept hooking them. They tried the spinner, he came down the wicket and started lofting them. Then I think in the end of the innings, they tried bowling these. Outside off stump Yorkers, he
he
hit them
carved it.
over. Yeah, he
Uh,
hit them over cover as well. So I mean, this guy is batting on a different planet, virtually to say, and. We all knew he had the potential. He was becoming great, but I think he's now right
so
at that level. Right, he's reached there, and even the legends yesterday, whoever were on commentary, Sachin was there at the ground.
they're spellbound.
Everybody was in awe. I mean, it was his innings yesterday, and what was interesting for me, Sumit, was his first 50 was of 32 balls. Next 28
Yes.
balls, he hit
Uh,
79 runs. He just flipped a switch after getting his 50. So I think that really took the
yeah.
cake for me. Yeah.
And power play was 6 overs, 50 runs only. And then from 6 to 15, they clocked more than 100 runs easily. And they looked good for 240 actually. It's like, I think Mumbai pulled it back in the end a bit because unfortunately, the poor guy, Sai Sudarshan, who batted very well, I think, at a strike rate of 135 odd, he had to
Right.
get retired out. बेचारा like उसे लग ही नहीं
Yeah.
था. People were like, unfortunately, you have these like murderers sitting below, right? Who are just waiting
Correct.
कि हमें भेजो, we'll just kill everybody. So they were just waiting and waiting, and then finally they said, "अच्छा तुम जाओ last over में राशिद को लाते हैं." So coming to my favorite player, who decides to bowl the last over? Chris Jordan. And I'm like, this is all the hard work you have done to control this innings, where you can restrict them to say 220 maybe. तुम Jordan को दे दो and खत्म कर दो. Now Jordan as a bowler, we've discussed enough times, right? He not at all worth it, and I don't know why he gets a contract every year. RCB has taken him for God's sake. That should have been a sign. If RCB leaves a bowler, it means ठीक है,
Correct.
नहीं हो पाएगा.
Hmm.
But he still gets in. He gives 4 overs 56, which is I think he saw Madwal's figures 4 overs 52. I think he said, "अरे ऐसे कैसे
Let me
मैं ज्यादा
better that.
दूंगा." I should be that guy. So
Um,
4 overs 56 करवा दिया. So that is one part of it. Now I think some part of the overs I think I missed out. I didn't know. And then inning starts. Okay, Ishan Kishan doesn't come out. So I get to know Ishan Kishan is injured. So commentators बात कर रहे हैं उसकी आंख में लगी and all that. So I don't know. फिर एक रिप्ले आया. Now how does Ishan Kishan get injured? Okay, so Jordan being Jordan
hmm.
must have got hit in one over. I think it
Hmm.
must be the sixth over
Hmm.
because Gill took off in that over. So Jordan is standing in the pitch and you're changing sides. Over खत्म हो गया. So Ishan is here, Jordan is here. ठीक है? And Jordan is just he's standing like this, literally
Hmm.
standing like this and walking straight. So this is Jordan. Jordan is walking like this. This is Kishan. You're changing ends. So this is how they go.
Huh.
Jordan's left elbow barges into Kishan's eye
I.
like that. And obviously, imagine, right? It just hits
I
your
know.
even if you're
Obviously.
not
Obviously.
even
Yeah.
if you're not running, it just barges. And I'm like, this guy is such an idiot. I mean, why are you? I mean, he's injured his own player. Like, first you give 56 runs, that's one thing. Then you injure the opener, who, in his defense, this is Ishan's pitch. If anything is Ishan's pitch, his Ahmedabad pitch is his
Correct.
forte. So he would have been
Correct.
very useful for the start. तुमने अपनी प्लेयर को रिटायर्ड हर्ट करके कंकशन सब्स्टिट्यूट बना दिया. So Vishnu Unod came as a concussion substitute on top of the impact player they had. I'm
True.
like, this guy should be banned from cricket or IPL for that matter, because or he should go to Punjab. I mean, that should be a marriage made in heaven. Punjab and
Correct.
Chris Jordan. I think they
Correct.
might have had him also. I have a very
He
bad
did
feeling.
play. He did play
You
for
know?
them. They also
So,
chucked him. So I don't know how some people build a reputation, right? I mean,
on
uh,
what basis?
yeah,
I don't know what
yeah.
basis he
At
built
least there
it.
should be some, basis or this thing. I don't know. Every time he gets a gig with a different team, and every time it's the same story. So I mean, and he's all over the place, right? Whenever I see him bowl in the death, suddenly he bowls a back of a length ball, suddenly he bowls a short ball, suddenly he bowls a slower ball. I mean, there's
And
no
he
method to the madness.
and he
You
has a
get
good
it?
yorker, that's the
Huh.
shocking part. He has a
Hmm.
yorker, but he doesn't bowl it. And I'm like, that's height of like stupidity. I think he was in CSK also. I have a very bad feeling he was in
He
CSK.
did, I think. He played for
Did he
CSK
play?
also.
Because I don't know if Dhoni could not get work out of him and he's getting out of
Yeah.
Deshpande. You can totally imagine what is the level.
Correct. He's
So for,
So
for
you can
England, I think
imagine,
he's
folks,
better.
he's been in so many sides that we are trying to recollect now which sides he's played for.
So
So,
every,
yeah,
like
yeah.
if Dhoni can get this guy Deshpande and the Mukesh Chaudhary, two
Correct.
unknown bowlers to get 20 wickets. He couldn't get Jordan to do it. Then you can totally imagine what's the problem, where the problem
Correct.
lies.
Correct.
So
Jordan has
after that,
probably played his last game for MI, I
I
think. I
don't
mean,
think
if
so, man.
Archer,
I don't.
if Archer
I don't
comes next year, great. Or I think they may get another overseas pacer. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
think
no,
they'll
no.
rely on Jordan again.
MI will throw him out, I'm sure. I'm just
Hmm.
saying, some other team will take him. Some other team will also say, "Chalo, hum bhi karte hain apne साथ, we'll also hit
Hmm.
the axe on our head." So
Correct.
after that, it really blew my mind. I'm like, then at that point, I said, I didn't want to support MI,
Hmm.
although I wanted them to win very badly. But I was like, you kept playing this guy. जिसने Stoinis hit him in the LSG match where we wanted to win. We would have got a top two. You played him, उसने 18 ओवर में I think made 25 or something. Momentum दे दिया. इस मैच में momentum दे दिया. हर मैच में he's getting 50. He apparently can bat when but he never bats, and he then injured his own player. So after that, you don't deserve to win to play such players. But credit to Mumbai, where Tilak Verma, who's like the lone shining light, and unfortunately got injured at the wrong time. But I said last season also, this was one of the fines for Mumbai when they landed at 10th, and this season he showed it. If he had played the entire season, we would have seen the range where he has this multiple gears in his game. Yesterday he got 42 of 13 or 14, so that just showed another level this guy has. And that time it looked, and then Surya was there, Green was there. Till I think 14th, 15th over, it was decent. But once Surya got out, you knew it was not going to happen. And then uh, Rashid came next, and he got David in, and then it was done. And then Mohit Sharma just cleaned up the tail. And it's amazing how, the net bowler that he was is the story. He was bowling in the nets. He just comes into, and now he's the third highest wicket taker. So ultimately, I think after that magical knock from Shubman, I think they didn't deserve to go through. In the sense, GT should have been the finalists. So that would be a
True.
worthy match. I don't think MI with this bowling is very unreliable, and this decision to keep sticking with people who are doing nothing but being making negative contribution, you need to see. And Rohit is also one of them. I'll be very honest. It's very disappointing to keep seeing him this stat which I have. I mean, I haven't written it anywhere, but my memory that every 5-6 innings, Rohit Sharma plays only one innings, and then he just sleeps after that. And you can check that record in the last 2-3 IPLs at least, because
Correct.
he's not at all doing what an Indian opener should do, let alone a captain.
Correct.
And if he was Dhoni type captain, I would be okay. Because you're giving
Correct.
that input and you are then playing at eight. We're not destabilized because you had a Devol Brevis in sitting. He could
True.
have
I
been
think
your
that
opener.
was the biggest miss for MI.
Yeah, and you had Green now. Green, I think, is set. We'll discuss more in the team reviews, but
Hmm.
Green looks the part. He's a classy player, not a slogger, and he's a perfect three for you, and a perfect four in Surya, and a perfect five in Tilak, and then David at six. So you actually have a very, very good middle order now. So
Correct.
this opening only is a problem for me. So yeah,
Yeah. I think again knowing Mumbai, they usually have emotional connect with players, right? Like for
yeah,
example, you would remember they retained Pollard when Pollard was
so much.
way past his sell
Right.
by date also, and Rohit also they know. Rohit knows in his own mind, the MI management knows. But even if you and I say that he was a weak point for them, both of us know he'll play next year also. Maybe
Correct.
next year
As
will be
captain.
farewell season for MI, and then maybe 2025 they will you press the reset button, right, when the
Mhm.
big mega auction comes in again.
Yeah.
So yeah, but sometimes I think either the management has to take the brave call, or the player himself has to selflessly step down, right? But
Mm. No, no,
yeah.
I still tell what Kohli did was very brave. He came out openly about his mental, breakdown. That okay, he was suffering from that. He wanted to be mentally fresh. He didn't pick a bat for a month. He was
Correct.
vocal about it. And this Kohli, okay, like the next guy after Tendulkar, if he can admit to it, I think I'm sure Rohit can also admit that okay, I need a break, work on my fitness, get a bit
Right.
better. Because
Right.
talent is there. There's no doubt. But if you don't
Correct.
have the fitness, you won't manage
True,
much.
true.
So
And
ultimately.
one, point on Tilak, when he plays and he gets in, I've seen him whenever I see him bat, he gets into this crouched position and swipes the ball across to long leg, right? That
Uh,
reminds me a lot of Michael Hussey somehow. I
oh
mean,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, and he looks
But
compact. It's not wild swiping, right? There is a technique there also. I feel he's very technically good, and
he's good.
whenever people have tried bowling him outside off stump, also he
He
has a
has a
good cover
very
drive.
good drive.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so good cover drive. So he is really one to look forward in the future. And I know MI fans after yesterday's match will be disappointed, including you. But I think there is a lot of positive things to look forward to, which I'm sure we'll discuss in the team reviews. But I think MI definitely ended more than what it was initially looking in the
I,
first couple of weeks of IPL. for sure,
I'll agree on
for
that
sure.
definitely. He's finishing three in the tournament is, I think, with this bowling attack, with no
Yeah,
Jofra and Bumrah, achievement
true.
like. So coming to the last one, the big one, CSK versus GT. Uh, now the ground changes. Now it's Ahmedabad. We know it's going to be a batting deck. So here it's going to be close, and I think both sides are batting very well. But I think GT has over dependence, and it's not their fault they have over dependence on a player. Because Shuman is at 851 runs now, and just to put it in context, that Butler's dream season was 860 odd. So he's just like 15-20 runs short of that. And then he becomes the second highest orange cap run holder in a way. That dream season which Kohli had in 2016, which clocked around 970 runs, he'll
Right.
have to score 130 for that, approximately, to cross that and eclipse the king in every way. So first he eclipsed him in that RCB match, now he eclipsed him in this record also.
Yeah.
So if he does that, then CSK is in trouble anyways. But the funny part is, we were thinking, we were discussing who's batting for GT except Shubman, and we couldn't think of anything. So I went down, checked the stats. किसने बनाया रन अभी तक? So Pandya apparently is the second highest run scorer with 350 odd runs, which is like shocking कि इसने बनाए कब, because I don't remember any big innings from this guy.
Same here, same here.
So
Yeah.
it's just I think 20-30, 20-30, and third highest is
Correct.
Vrindavan Saha, which I can agree because he has hit some 50s, right?
Correct. I think in the starting few matches he played really well. Now I
But
think in the second half
he's
he's
tapering
somehow,
off.
yeah,
Hmm.
gone off the boil. Yeah.
Correct. And the fourth guy is Sai Sudarshan, who was not allowed to play half the tournament. Otherwise, that guy actually could have been much ahead of Pandya.
Correct.
So they are Gill is too far ahead, I think. And if I compare the two CSK's numbers, Conway is at 600, Ritu is 550, and Dubey is around 400. And then you have Rahane around 300, and then all the quick 20 guys, Raidu, Moin, Jaddu, Dhoni. So it's pretty similar in a very weird way how they don't have like everybody's contributing small, but it's the bowling which is fun because GT has the top three bowlers in the IPL. So that's
Hmm.
Shami at 28, Rashid at 27, and Mohit joined at 24. So top three wicket takers in one team for one IPL. I don't think it's ever been there. And CSK has representation from Deshpande at 21. Way, I think it's five or six number or something. So very, we know where the strength is. I mean, I know who the favorites are for this, but now, what is your opinion? I mean, where can CSK catch GT off guard?
It's a very 50-50 game, I would say. I mean, very tough to call anybody a favorites, but then I would say CSK are marginal favorites, because as we have been talking just now also, the GT batting has been centered around Gill, right? I mean, Pandya has been on and off. Saha is suddenly losing form. Miller has hardly got a hit. Tewatia has hardly got a hit, and I don't blame them when they
Yeah,
get so few balls and you have to get going right from ball one. You can't expect people to keep
like
being
top.
consistent.
Mm,
Probably they should have, once they had reached a comfortable position where they knew they were going to definitely qualify. I think Tewatia and Miller should have got more of a hit in some matches, which hasn't
agreed.
happened, and which got exposed in that first qualifier, right, when
Yeah,
both
you're
got
right.
out cheaply. And then Rashid is your next best batsman in form right now. So
He
the
is actually.
batting, if CSK somehow managed to get Gill out, then I don't know, Gill out quickly, then we'll have to see who will put their hands up for GT. But the bowling is looking really
Too
good.
good.
Whereas
Mm,
CSK, I would say, is now the bowling is looking terrific. Batting also, you see somebody or the other putting their hands up, right? Rahane,
uh,
Raidu, you might feel okay, they're just getting 15-20s,
mm,
but they're getting it quickly. Plus, Jadeja is again now looking good as a finisher. Dhoni is smacking those sixes. So I feel at the moment, combined with Dhoni's tactical acumen again, I know we have been
mm.
stressing about this,
But
but
it's
I
still the
remember in the
best captain, I
2010
think.
IPL final also, when Pollard was hitting everybody. I
Mm,
remember in the final
put it
he had a
straight.
strategy for him, straight down the
Yeah.
wicket. So I'm
One mid
sure.
on and one mid on, and one mid on and
Yeah,
one long one. Very
one,
straight both.
right,
Uh,
right,
uh,
right.
uh.
So I know Shubman right now doesn't have any apparent weaknesses, but I'm sure Dhoni will come up with a
Try to
plan for
find
him. So
something.
51-49 for me. 51 CSK 49.
51 for CSK. You
Yeah.
forgot Lord Vijay Shankar by the way. When you said batters in form, I just wanted to remind you that guy is still somehow there and he will play, I'm sure. So, one interesting fact about these playoffs, the qualifiers and eliminator is the team batting first has only won all three matches. So, that
Mm,
old adage, right, where put runs on the board in big matches is
I
working.
know.
So I'll be very interested to see what happens in this toss, because both teams like to chase. I have a feeling if CSK win the toss, they're going to bat first, and I have a feeling if
Yeah,
GT win the toss, they might bowl anyways, because last year also they won like this.
correct.
So I'm also like thinking where I mean, if Gill plays and he beats Kohli's record of 970, then I know who's
Then
winning for
then we know
sure.
who the winner is. Yeah.
But in terms of, but I think one thing I applaud about CSK, I really think is an ex RCB fan like that they never collapse. Have you ever remembered CSK
They
collapsing to
don't.
under
They
100?
don't.
They
They
always
don't.
manage something, right? 130, 140 umar pit ke koi na koi contribute karke they reach there.
Correct.
They never like lose hope and like 59 all out, 50 like 60 all out, like RCB, even MI screwed up that day. So they don't do that, and that's something very commendable in all these seasons, to not have such a bad day in the
True.
office.
True.
That consistency, and this is the 10th final, by the way. That's again a
Correct.
shocking stat. And 2 years they weren't there, right? नहीं तो उसमें भी होता.
True.
उसमें उसमें धोनी आई थिंक फाइनल गया था पुणे के थ्रू. एक था ना, आई थिंक वन फाइनल
Ah,
ही
yeah.
गया.
They lost to Mumbai by 1 run, right?
Ah, yeah, that
That
one.
match, yeah.
Uh, so
Yeah.
it's comment. They have lost way more finals than Mumbai, वैसे.
Correct.
Mumbai, but yeah, GT has this very rare opportunity to be up there with this top two, because only two teams have defended the IPL titles, which is CSK and
True.
MI. So GT has that opportunity.
True.
So for
And
me,
GT is the bowling. I mean, I really admire their bowling. Little
what they've
Rashid,
come on.
Noor, you know,
Yeah, actually, I forgot about Little. So he
yeah,
just came about
Mohit,
playing with
yeah.
Ireland ODIs, and he's just
Mm.
come into the team and made the bowling stronger. They were trying Shanaka for some reason. I think that was some time pass they were doing, because they were like, let's do anything because we are winning. But now with Little in, and he got green at a very important time again,
Yeah, that
yesterday's
was
match.
a match turning wicket. Yeah.
So now it's complete. I mean, it's a worthy final. I just hope, and with the batting pitch, it should be. I don't think it's going to be a slow pitch. We should get a good belter wicket, and let's see who contributes. For me, obviously, GT will be the favorites. I'm just curious how Dhoni pulls this one out of the hat. But the storyline again, going by the storylines, right? Who's going to win? Now, this is Dhoni's apparent farewell. So there's a very Sachin type vibe to this World Cup final 2011, where Sachin won. So maybe this is how it ends for Dhoni on a fairy tale, because I think his retirements have been very quiet. He just
You're
announces,
right.
"I'm not playing," no farewell match or anything. So this might be his opportunity versus a Gujarat team in Gujarat with a lot of Gujarat people attending the match. So I I am thinking who's going to win. It's very difficult for me to also. I mean, yeah, both both have the advantages to win, but I am, yeah. It's an exciting match. That's what I can say. I mean, it's something which should go down the wire. I just hope it's
Yeah.
not a blow up like last year. Last year was a very bad final, man. I remember
Yeah.
it was Rajasthan Gujarat, and they just pummeled
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
and
One way final it was. Yeah.
120, 130 chase, and easily they did it from one wicket down. So let's hope it's just a
Any
good final.
predictions for a super over this time?
No, it hasn't happened for 3 years. I think the commentators keep getting
Is it?
crazy about it.
Oh
हाँ,
my
it's been two
god.
three overs. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Akash Chopra. Hindi में तो it's even way
Yeah.
crazier, and then in English also, Kevin Peterson and Simon Dewell are like super over, and I know we don't want that, because then it gets really late for everybody. I guess nobody
I
wants a
know.
super over. But that would actually be the worthy end. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
if this prediction comes true, some people might come after us, because they might just suspect we know something which we should know.
Guys,
So
we have
let's
no insider news, okay?
yeah, it just it's just a fan's wish that okay, let's
Yeah.
end on a super over, and that will just perfectly like complete this tournament for me. I think it has been by far the best IPL I remember in
Very good
terms of
IPL. Yeah, excellent.
evenly matched, and all teams were kind of equally matched, even though in the end we know it got separated. But yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of 200 plus chasers, a lot of sixes, and good bowlers getting the wickets, which shows that, as you said, you say right, batters win matches and bowlers win championships. So that way I'll go with GT and you go with CSK. So yeah, we'll discuss after the IPL. Now we'll just review all the teams and we'll discuss the champions, whoever they are. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side.
Right. So, folks, that was a wrap from us. A lot of banter involved in this discussion and a lot of good analysis as well. We enjoyed it, and we look forward to your thoughts. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. And look forward to our review series, especially that we are very excited about, because
Hmm.
there we dissect each and every side, and
We'll,
certain parts wherever we have to be critical, we will be, and wherever we
hmm.
have to appreciate, we will. So that you should look forward to, and
And
we'll
we'll
be reviewing the final as well, of course.
And we'll revisit what we predicted when we started with all those 10 previews we did. I know
True.
we got one right for sure. Uh, the Rajasthan Royals one, just to be clear. Others I need to revisit, even I don't remember. But
Yeah.
yeah, we remember GT also. I think two to we got right, and CSK
Yeah.
also we said. So three I remember.
No, no.
I think RCB में का मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा. We'll
Yeah.
have to revisit
Yeah,
and see what we said.
I think we did say there is a chance. RCB we said, but unfortunately,
I said no. You said is obviously
yeah,
you
I
would
think
say
I
that.
was more
Yeah.
blinded by
Uh,
passion for a team.
love does that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, folks, on that note, it's a wrap, and look forward to our next episode. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.